Both DC and Marvel's alternate universes, Absolute at DC and Ultimate at Marvel, are thriving, taking 6 of the top 10 spots for best-selling single-issue comic books from May 2025. But there are 2 more comics from DC that would fit perfectly among their Absolute lineup, but for whatever reason, they just aren't included in the Absolute line of comics. I'm talking about Batman Dark Patterns and Resurrection Man Quantum Karma. As with all these new Splinter Universe books, they're a perfect place for new readers with no prior knowledge to come in, and work perfectly as interesting new takes on beloved characters for long-time fans too. They aren't connected to current continuity, which means they're all self-contained and super accessible. They're such a smart idea. Literally anybody can pick up a first issue and understand what it is they're reading. The same can be said of these 2 books. They're also self-contained and a bit of a different take on established characters. My best guess as to why they aren't included in the Absolute series might be their planned length. Perhaps they're going to be too long or too short, or that may even be uncertain for now. I do think it's a bit of a missed opportunity for these books because they're both incredible, and it's too bad that they might get passed over by folks who are only reading Absolute comics. Batman Dark Patterns comes from 2 powerhouses when it comes to recent comics, Dan Watters on writing and Hayden Sherman on art. Triona Farrell is on colors, and though it's my first time encountering their work, it deserves a major shout out because it pairs with Sherman's artwork amazingly well, and it's consistently outstanding. Dan Watters is no stranger to Gotham and the Bat family, given that he's currently writing Nightwing and also wrote Arkham City, The Order of the World, which is one of my favorite things I've ever read set in Gotham. I can't recommend it highly enough, along with Watters' dark, philosophical comedy, Coffin Bound, and the absolute roller coaster of a book, Homesick Pilots. Sherman is currently providing art for Absolute Wonder Woman, and has worked on some awesome comics like Dark Spaces Dungeon, Wasted Space, and Chicken Devil. Sherman's art is distinctive and cool, and nobody else does paneling even close to as interestingly as Sherman. Dark Patterns is heavily focused on Batman as a detective, though of course there is plenty of action as well. It has a decidedly dark and psychological bent. It seems like it will be episodic in structure. So far, 2 stories have been completed in 3 issues each, so it's very easy to pick up and dive into. Issue 7 in particular struck me with its beautiful opening internal monologue against this gorgeous panel of a sunset and this incredible image from outside of a window, reflecting an image of a burning Gotham very literally on Bruce's mind. Resurrection Man Quantum Karma comes from megastar Ram V, who is prolific. I can't remember the last time he didn't have at least 1 book currently running. He's written for DC recently in Detective Comics, and currently has New Gods running with DC, though my personal favorite of his was the stunning love letter to Neon Genesis Evangelion, Dawnrunner. The art for Resurrection Man comes from another artwork dream team, Anand R.K and Mike Spicer, who managed to create these gorgeous images which at first glance strike you with their beauty, and then slowly reveal their horrific, visceral nature the more you look. I really love this gentle color palette and almost floral line work being used for such ghastly images. It just feels so perfectly balanced and contrasted. Again, this book works for both newcomers and fans by using Resurrection Man's power of reincarnation after death in a very clever way that may never have been used before, all of which is explained and made easily understandable at the start of issue 1. What follows is a story about choice, regret, love, and superhuman cannibalism with a reprehensible and utterly horrible villain who I nonetheless think is really cool. I've never seen a book quite like this, and it absolutely deserves as many eyes on it as it can get. Whether you're new to comics or a long-time fan, I can't recommend these 2 series highly enough.